Okay, so why is it important to look at your retirement dollars differently than it is when you're working? Well, the main thing is when you're working, you're looking at total dollars. What's going to give me the largest amount of money over time rather than what it's going to take to give me the most amount of money in my retirement years. And that's the difference when you talk about your tax diversification in retirement. Now, while I agree that if you look at the effective tax rate of money in pre-tax dollars in your 401k, your 403b, it is really tempting to put all of your money into one of those accounts, mainly because it's going to go ahead and give you the most amount of money overall rather than what's going to give you the most amount of money in your retirement, in your tax diversification, okay? So when you do retire, a couple of things that you're going to want to look at is, you're going to have a bucket list and you're going to have things that you want to do right away when you retire. Well, you really don't want to have to pay taxes on $200,000 while you're getting your bucket list done the first couple of years, right? So that's why it's better to have some money that you've already paid the taxes on so you can use that for your bucket list. And, you may retire before you're actually taking Social Security. And those are things you need to look at. And the reason that I would suggest going ahead and diversifying and having a Roth 401k as well as a traditional 401k so that I had some money that I could draw out and not have to worry about paying a big tax bill on, and I could just go out and do what I wanted to with it. Now, the other thing is the RMDs, required minimum distributions. RMDs are going to hit you pretty hard in your early 70s. Now, in your early 70s, you probably got most of your bucket list things done, but now you're going to have to start drawing out some of those dollars out of the RMDs, you're going to have to start drawing out some of those dollars from your pre-tax traditional account and pay the taxes on those. So depending on how you want to look at it, the other flip side of the coin is, well, if I put all of my money in my pre-tax accounts, then all of my money is going to grow with the stock market or whatever I have it into. So basically, if you have $100,000 and you put it in a pre-taxed account, that full $100,000 is going to grow at whatever the market yields, whether it be, 4%, 7%, 10%. That full $100,000 is going to, grow at that rate. Whereas if you put it in a Roth 401k, you're only going to get, 75 to 85% of those dollars are going to be able to grow because you're going to have to pay the taxes on those up front. So that is the reason that if you look at the effective tax rate, over the full time, it may make more sense to put everything in traditional. But like I said, what I would suggest is put in both, invest in both accounts. That way you've got some flexibility for your tax dollars later when you retire. I personally, I didn't, and I wished I had. Because I'm going to pay, this is my first year of retirement, and I'm going to pay a healthy tax bill. One, because I got a bonus before I left my job, and two, the second reason, because I've got a lot of health issues right now. I just had a craniotomy done, and we're going to have some pretty big tax bills on the money that I'm going to have to draw out to pay for all that. Even though I had good insurance, it's still going to be, the maximum amount. So it's going to be quite a bit. Now, if you're like me and you didn't plan ahead as far as you really should have, one option you have are what are called Roth conversions. And a Roth conversion can be a really good tool to use to, lower your tax burden. But what you got to remember about that is you're going to pay some upfront taxes on that when you do the conversion. So talk to a financial advisor, talk to a CPA before you do it, because there could be penalties involved. And a tax conversion and a Roth conversion, there may be some years that you have to keep that in there depending on your age and some other things. So you can't just do a Roth conversion and then turn around that same year and start drawing that money back out. There could be some penalties to that. So make sure you know what you're doing before you do the Roth conversion, and talk to your financial advisor. And if you've gotten any good information out of this video, I'd appreciate it if you'd hit that like button and go ahead and watch this video next.